The 12th annual Strikeout Violence Bowling Tournament was held in Niagara Falls recently. The event raises money for Women's Place of South Niagara and strengthens the relationship between the Niagara Regional Police and frontline workers dealing with domestic abuse cases.
So we're going to have a bowling tournament, and then we're going to return about 5 o'clock to Club Italia with a silent auction, and we're hoping to raise over $20,000 today, and that will go to our operating budget because we are in a funding freeze with the ministry and really need the funds because of the demand for our services in the region.
Yeah, I think this tournament is a great opportunity on two fronts. On one, it allows us to get away from the office a little bit and work with our partners just to form those relationships so that when we do the investigations into domestic violence and other women's issues, that it won't be the first time that we've met some of these workers and we've formed that bond and formed the relationship, and I think it's good for all concerned.
Ruth Ann told me about the domestic violence unit at the NRPS. I'd like to get your feedback on why that unit was created and the work they do day to day.
Well, over the years, Mark, the domestic violence package that our officers are required to put together for complaints of domestic violence have become very much more complex. So what we decided was that it would be more efficient and more effective to have a dedicated group of officers who could respond to these all around the region. And it did a couple of things. For one, it added to our efficiencies on the front line, but more importantly, what it did was for the victims. Victims of domestic violence, it gave them an expertise. Our officers could because they were doing these repeatedly, they formed relationships with groups like Women's Place, with the Crown Attorneys, and with other advocates. And it just made the system better for all concerned so that we could take these through court in a more efficient manner and hopefully have a more successful product when we go to court.
Organizers witness the devastating results of abuse, but they also see the success stories that take place when victims take the courageous step to access the services that Women's Place provides.
But if you hear something in your neighborhood or you know someone at work who's apparently fallen down the stairs another time after another time, then speak out and let them know that the shelters are available. Just Google our website and you'll see our crisis lines, and it's just about reaching out and making a phone call and then giving information to somebody, because earlier intervention can prevent injuries and death.
The more we talk about this, the more we can educate the public to the situations that some women find themselves in, and it's all about empowering these women to get the supports, know that the help is there, so that if they're in a vulnerable situation, they'll have the strength to leave those situations, and that the resources are there in the community to help. If we can educate the public that exists and give people the confidence, I think we can work to reduce this crime.
Women's Place of South Niagara operates shelters in Niagara Falls and Welland. They also have crisis lines that can be accessed at all times. In Niagara, you're watching The Source.